All right, we're going to start this one because I should have told you an easier way to graph the parabolas, because I told you to just grab a random point and guess and whatever, and I've got a trick for you. So hang on, I've lost my pencil. All right, so we are going to do we're going to do this one, which I hope we haven't done it yet. All right, so x plus 2 squared. So x plus 2 quantity squared equals 12 times y plus 1. All right, so what do we know? First of all, we're going to find the vertex. So the x-coordinate of your vertex is going to be a -2. The y-coordinate of your vertex is -1. So draw that first. So I'm at a -2, -1. I'm at x squared, so that tells me it opens up, down. And I'm leading off positive, so that tells me it opens up. So it looks like this. Okay? And now I need to find the focus, and I need to find the directrix. So remember that this is a multiple of 4. So that's the same thing as 4 times 3. So I need to get to the focus by going up and down 3, and the directrix. So right now I'm at -1. So I need to go 1, which is 0, 2, which is 1, 3, which is 2. So my focus is at -2, what did I just say? 2 is my focus. Okay, and then my vertex. And then the directrix, we're just going to drop down 3 units. So from the vertex, I'm at -1. So if I drop it down 3, I'll be at y equals -4. So that's a horizontal line that goes this way. Now, here's the deal. If you want a second easy point, okay, how far away were you from here to here? You were 3 units, yes? If you double that and go this way, so from here I'm going to go 6, okay? So from here go 6, and from here go 6. Okay, then you will find 2 more points on your parabola, okay? So this entire length is actually going to be 12, okay? So let me say that one more time. From here to here was 3 units. So if I double that, I'll get 6. So I'm going to go 6 this way, and I'm going to go 6 this way, which is easy enough to count off, because if my focus is at -2, 2, so if this is -2, 2, I'm going to add 6 units. So this one would be at -2, 2 plus, which this is not drawn to scale. Okay, so 2 plus 6 is going to be 8. And if I subtract, what am I doing? Land of Goshen, my brain is just fried. All right, I'm still going to be at a height of 2. I am so sorry. Okay, so I'm at -2. If I add 6 units, because I doubled this, if I add 6 units, I'll be at 4. If I subtract 6 units, I'll be at -8. Good grief. We will get through this. All right, so that's my little trick for you. Instead of spending so much time just trying to find a pretty point, take this value, however far you count it up, and double it, and move that far left or right. Or if you are working on an up-down one, so like this one, then you could go up and down. So how far out was this one? It was 6. Okay, so double 6, and you're going to go up 12, down 12, and you'll find the a point on the parabola. And that's just a quick, easy way to do it, so that you're not wandering for the rest of your life trying to figure it out. All right, so that being said, we can now go to find the vertex. I think I just did that one. No, I didn't. All right, so y plus 4 squared. So y plus 4 squared equals 8 times x plus 2. So it's a y squared, so it's going to tell me left, right. My vertex has an x-coordinate of -2 and a y-coordinate of -4. So I'm going to plot that real quick. So I'm at -2, -4. Okay, this opens left, right. Which way does it open? This is positive, so it's going to open right. So he looks like this, very sloppily. Okay, 8 can be rewritten as 4 times 2. So this is how far I need to move left and right. So from -2, -4, so this is -2, -4, I need to move 2 units to the right. So 1, 2 is going to be at 0, -4. and then move 2 units this way. So 1, 2 will be at negative 4. So your directrix will be at x equals negative 4. Okay, so you know all that stuff. Now, what's our quick and dirty way to get to another easy point? From here, double this number. So I'm going to go up 4 and I'm going to go down 4. And that's going to give me 2 points. So from here, remember your x coordinate will stay the same. So if I'm at 0, negative 4, if I go up 4, that's going to put me at 0, 0. If I go down 4, that's going to put me at negative 8. So there's 2 additional points on your parabola for you to choose from. So what do we have? It would have been handy if I had figured that out a while back. All right, so I have x squared minus 8x minus 12y, and then minus 32 is 0. And if you'll notice, I've only got one squared term. So I'm going to keep all of my x's on the left, and I'm going to put everything else on the right. So this is going to be an x squared minus an 8x equals a positive 12y plus 32. Okay, positive 12y plus 32. How do I complete the square? Take half of this, which is negative 4, and square it. So I just added 16 to both sides. So when I reduce this down or factor it down, it's going to be x minus 4 squared equals 12y, and then 32 and 16 is 48. So you want to factor this out so that your coefficient on y is 1. So that tells you to divide both of these by 12. So what I have now is x minus 4, 12. What? X minus 4 squared equals 12 times y plus 4. So first of all, it's an x squared, so it opens up, down. It's positive, so it opens up. What is your vertex? Change that sign, change that sign. So my vertex is at 4, negative 4. So it's here. I already know it opens upwards. Okay. So find, this is a multiple of 4. So this is your multiple. So I'm going to go up and down 3 units to find the focus in the directrix. So if this is 4, negative 4, if I go up 3, that'll be at negative 1. And if I go down 3, that'll be y equals, because it slices through the y-axis, at negative 7. So there's your directrix. Now, how do I easily, and I'm just going to kind of drive this point home, how do I easily plot 2 more points if I wanted them? So what is this number? Double it. So it's 6. Okay? So if I take this number, which is at 4, negative 1, that means I need to move right 6. So 4 plus 6 is 10, negative 1. And I need to move left 6. So that's going to be negative 2, negative 1 will be this point. Which, again, they're not drawn to scale because I didn't plot them. All right, so the next ones are pretty dang easy. So for 12 and 13 and 14, we just have to identify, are we dealing with a parabola, a hyperbola, or an ellipse, or a circle? Okay. So here's what we're going to look at, and this hopefully should be familiar to you. B squared minus 4ac, that should be tickling your brain. And that is actually part of the quadratic formula, and it's the part underneath the square root. So that part is called the discriminant. Okay, so the discriminant of underneath the radical of the quadratic formula is going to give us the information we need to make this decision. So notice that I don't have any xy terms. If I had had xy terms, that would have shifted it. So go back to what I did. If that's an ellipse, it would have rotated. And so none of these are going to have xy terms. Okay, but here's what I would like to know. So this first one, I'm just going to compare it. And it says identify the following. So the very first thing I notice is that there's only one thing being squared, and that's a y. So I don't even have to do any more work. All this is a parabola. Okay, so if there's 2 or more things being squared, then I got to worry about stuff. But there's only one thing being squared, so this is a parabola. And I already know what that is. And this is multiple choice. You got a parabola. All right, so identify the following equation without completing the square. In other words, don't do all the work behind it. So the next thing I have is I've got an 8x squared I've got a minus 8y squared, and then I've got a minus 8x, a minus 36y, and a minus 69. So all I need to worry about is shoving in a b squared, which in my case is going to be 0 the whole way through, okay? Because I don't have an xy term. All right, so what do I need? I need a 4ac. So what is my a? My a is 8. And what is my c? My c is negative 8. So if I square this thing, I've got b squared minus 4ac. So my b squared is 0, minus 4 times a, which in my case is 8, times c, which in my case is negative 8. So I get 4 times 64 is 128, 256. So I get a positive 256. So here's what this means. If this gives me a negative answer, so if this results in something less than 0, which is negative, then I have an ellipse. Okay? If this results in something positive or bigger than 0, I've got a hyperbola, which is what I just got. Okay? If it equals 0, then what you're going to have is, what's that word? A parabola. So go back up to this one just in case. Did I have an a squared? I don't, because I don't have an x squared term. So as soon as I find that out, my b squared, for our purposes, is going to be 0 the whole way through, because I don't have an xy term. Okay, minus 4 times, what is my a term? It's 0. Times b, or times c, sorry, just kidding, is 2, so I get 0. So what did that tell us? It's a parabola, so it's 0. Okay, so the last one is identify the following. So I've got x squareds and y squareds and x's and y's. So since I know it's not a parabola, because I've got two things being squared, then my b squared is 0 squared. Okay. What is my a? Because I need b squared minus 4 times a times c. So what is my a? My a is 10. What is my c? Well, my c is the coefficient on y squared, so that's 10. So I end up with 0 minus 400 is negative 400. So which one does it fit? It gave me a negative answer, so it must be an ellipse. So I have an ellipse. Okay. So, last one. I've got a satellite dish is in the shape of a parabolic surface. So here's my satellite dish. Look, it's a parabola. Okay. Signals coming from a satellite strike the surface of the dish and are reflected to the focus where the receiver is located. So here's the focus. Okay. The satellite dish has a diameter of 12 feet and a depth of 4. So this is 4, and it's got a diameter of 12. So if I put this on a coordinate plane, okay, that's 0, 0. If this is 12 feet across, then this must be negative 6, positive 4, and this must be positive 6, positive 4, because it's 4 units tall. Okay? How far from the base of the dish should the receiver be placed? So what I'm trying to find out is where, because this is floating, okay? So I need to know where the focus is. That is what I'm trying to find out. So first of all, I know it opens upward, so I know it's an x squared, okay? And I know that that equals some multiple of 4 times y, okay? So how do I find that, what that is? Well, from here to here, you're going to find out that it's a height of 4. So basically what you've got is you've got 2 points to deal with. I need to know what multiple of p to use. Okay, so I'm given 2 points. So I'll grab one of them. I don't care what it is. So shove in a 6. So a 6 squared is 36 equals 4 times p times what's his y is 4. Okay, so that gives me 36 equals 16p. And then 36 over 16 will be what p is, and rounded to the nearest answer is either 36 over 16, which is 2.25 feet. 2.25. So this needs to be at 2.25 feet. And then it will hit the receiver when it does it. And that is it for PreCal.